Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third edition of this podcast from RDash. So, today we'll be having a chat with Mr. Sham. Although Shamji has been an industry veteran and needs no introduction, but I'll still introduce him for the interest of wider audience. Shamji is founder of this company, 4Dimension, which has been 20 plus years into the business, has operations in 5 countries, has hundreds of happy customers. They deliver almost 1,000 retail stores and other commercial fit out projects every year. They have one state of the art, very big 1 lakh square feet production facility in Bangalore, and they are in process of setting up more, expanding the more two more factories. But Shamji is someone who goes beyond these facts and credential. He has been one of the founding father of retail fit out industry in India. He has been the man who have convinced big brands like Apple and of these kind to manufacture these fit outs and fixtures in India rather than importing from other countries. He has been the man who has inspired a generation of entrepreneurs to venture in the commercial fit out industry and has been an inspiration for the generation, has continued to do amazing work. So we are super grateful for Shamji for making it to the podcast. Despite his busy schedule, we can see he's traveling still. So, hello Shamji, glad to have you.
Hello, Amit. Good afternoon, and thanks for inviting me on this podcast. Thanks to RDash and you for this invitation, and thanks to all the podcast listeners who are currently logged in. Thank you for your introduction also. I think you've already given quite a good brief, but I would like to add what 4D is doing as a retail experience design company and what we deliver to the customers.
Yes.
So we are a 24, almost 24-year-old company. I mean, we'll be turning 24 in October. So we are just 2 months away from turning 24. 24-year-old company started by Nagraj, my co-founder, and myself as a retail design company way back in 2000. That was the nascent stage of growth of retail in India. After 1996 opening up of markets by the then government of Mr. Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh, Dr. Manmohan Singh, who were the Prime Minister and Finance Minister, retail FDI was permitted in India, and by the time it came on ground, it took 2-3 years for it to kick off and take off. So I can say when we started in 2000, we were at the right time. I started my career in 1998 as a architect and a retail designer in one. At that point of time, a very large and very well-known company called Retail Design and Merchandising, RD&M. So I can say whatever I learned today or whatever I am today, the foundation is from there. So all credits and regards to that company and the chief designer, Mr. Mani from that company. Because we had no clue about what was retail, because we are not, currently at least we have retail design as a specialized subject, but at that point of time there was no retail design as a subject available in the country itself.
Yes, only a handful of companies were, yes.
There were only about 4 or 5 companies in the entire country who were handling this retail design. And then that the well-known companies, 3 of them were from Bangalore. So RD&M was also one of that company which was among the pioneers. So actually, I would give the entire credit to these 3 companies, which I have no hesitation to mention. It was RD&M, CDA, and also Tesseract. Tesseract was there at that particular time. They were the pioneers and they are the godfathers of retail in this country, honestly. So we are actually the next generation. So I do not want to take the credit of what they have actually created the foundation for retail industry in India. So these were 3 companies.
However,
which were pioneering.
Shamji, you are humble enough to give the credit away, but the reality is you started in the industry when the industry itself was not very large. India retail market opened after 2012, after FDI, then real momentum started. And the way you have invested in this venture, both financially and definitely from the sweat side as well, this would take a huge belief and great entrepreneurial spirit the way you have executed. So at least you can't take give
Yeah,
that away.
maybe to maybe to Amit ji, but the firing shot was from them. So I would definitely give that ample credit to them,
Yes.
because we would not got have we could have not taken off if they were not there. So
Yes. Understood.
we were at the right, as I told you, we were at the right time and the right point. So which gave us the momentum, because there was growth in the country. I mean, retail started growing in a big way.
As you had mentioned that you started around early 2000, right? So in that moment, although you had some experience of working in this industry from a couple of other places, but there's always a leap of faith when you start on your own, and that also a capex heavy business, right? So can you share some initiation stories with some of our listeners? What was going on in your head when you were starting up? What were the initial hassles? What all help you received from the people around you?
Yeah, okay. So actually, my starting 4D was not something was planned or thing. It was an accidental start. Or accidental means it started with a unexpected project which came in. So I had worked for about 3+ years in RDM, and I quit RDM to go abroad and study, do my MR. After my BR, I had not. I always wanted to do my Master of Architecture in interior design, but I could not do that, because I thought, let me gain some experience working somewhere, and then after 2-3 years go and join for MR. So I quit RDM with the intention of joining MR, and I'd applied for a university in US and Australia also. But
Okay.
I come from a very what do you call normal middle class family. So my father didn't have all the money to pay for the studies abroad. So I had got only about at that point of time the total cost was so much that and I had got a scholarship of about 40% in the fee. So
Okay.
my father could not afford that. I mean, afford in the sense he didn't tell me that I can't make you join. He had one property which he thought, okay, I'll sell and get me joined to this education. But I knew that property was kept for my sister's marriage. So I have a elder sister. So at that point of
Okay.
time, she wanted to get married. So as a middle class family, we had very ample amount of resources. So
Yes.
then I decided there's no point in stressing my father, and because he will end up taking a loan and all that. So I said, okay, let's not get there. And so hence I didn't go to my studies abroad. So that is when so when I was working with RDM and I quit, obviously at that point I mean, one is as a person, I'm quite committed and very focused on what my work is. So there was a client who wanted to work with RDM and had contacted my ex-boss at that point of time. And the fee at what my boss had quoted was so high that he could not afford. And through one of my friends, he got my contact, and at that time there were no mobile phones. So he had actually called me on my landline at my home, saying that he wants to meet me. So I went and met him. Realized that he wanted to design a project, retail design, a store project in Jayanagar 4th block, and I told that I cannot take up the project because it is what you actually wanted to go to RD&M. So then I called my boss and I told him that this client has contacted me, and originally it was for RD&M. So my boss said that there is an X amount of fee I've quoted. If he's ready to do that, pay that, I will take it up. Otherwise, I don't want to take it up.
Okay.
So after that, then the client said, anyway, you know now that your boss is not wanting to take. So why don't you take up? So that's how I started the first project.
Okay.
Still in the process of deciding whether I should go abroad or not. But I thought, okay, let me start. At least I'll have some money for the fee. What was offered to me at that point of time was about 30,000 rupees for that design project.
Okay.
Okay, so I thought, okay, 30,000, and my salary when I quit RDM was 7,500 rupees. So I thought,
Okay.
okay, चार 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 महीने का 5 महीने का सैलरी हो गया, चलो ठीक है. At least till I decide I go whether I'll go to my studies abroad or not. Let me do this project, and that's how this entire thing started. So it was not a formal thought process. So it started, and that client had only one requirement, that we had to complete the design and get the project executed by contractors in 60 days. Because we were like something similar now. We were just like 2 months away from Dasara. So he said,
Okay.
I can't lose the Dasara time. I need to open it in 60 days. So at that time, there was no AutoCAD drawings, there was no SketchUp, there was no 3D. So we were all actually sitting, sketching the perspective views, coloring it with color pencils, making sheets of presentation, and layout also, hand draw it, and go and show it to the client. So that's how we used to work.
A
So
different world,
Nagraj
yes.
was the completely different world, because AutoCAD had just entered India at that point of time, but it was not popular at all.
Right.
So we were still, and I didn't know AutoCAD. Honestly, when I quit and all, we had not learned AutoCAD in college, and neither I had taken up any this one course for it. So Nagraj was my colleague in RD&M, my co-founder Nagraj, who is currently with me. We've been partners for now almost 24 plus years. So he was a colleague, and he was also actually handling the team and design and all that. So
Okay.
then, and he had also, coincidentally, he had also put in his papers at that point of time, and he was also in the notice period. So I spoke to him, and I asked him that, why don't you join with me? Anyway, you're planning to quit. So, but he is almost 10 years elder to me. So he had a
Okay.
family. I was unmarried, and I didn't have a family at that point of time. Family means I had my parents with me, and my
Yes.
parents were
Yes.
supporting me.
Right.
But I didn't have any
Wife
other
and kids. Yeah.
commitments. Yeah, wife and kids. So for me, it was okay. So Nagraj only told that, hey, Shyam, I can join, but if you can, Nagraj's salary at that point of time was about 12,000 rupees, because he was senior, much senior to me. 10 years, as I told you, is elder to me.
Right.
And he said that, okay, if I can at least get 10,000 rupees, that's my minimum commitment, what I have for my family, for rent and all, everything. So if I can get 10,000 rupees, I can join. Means I can join as a thing. And he also didn't have money to invest. So we didn't have anything. So finally, we decided that we'll do something on our own. And I had started by that time, because we had got this project. So Nagraj used to help me in some sketches and everything after his
So
office work.
this is very interesting, Shyamji. So you're saying that you started the company with the first project, 30,000 rupees as a consulting fee. Both of the co-founders, you and Nagrajji, come from a humble background. So there's no upfront initial investment that you guys had.
No,
And now
no.
4D is a 100 crore brand. So I have two questions here. First is, what are some of the business ethos and founding principles on the back of which you have the foundation of which you have built this company? So I think let's go with this, and then I'll ask the other question.
Yeah, I think the most important factor, or most three key points, which I keep talking to my team also, and all my directors today in the board, is one is integrity. Integrity is very important in this industry, because this industry, you know how it is. I
Because
don't
it's
have to
rare
tell
as well in
honestly
this
any.
industry.
Yeah. So I
Integrity is
said,
rare. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So for me, I think the most important factor, which we take it very, very seriously in our company, is integrity. And another major reason why customers also connect with us and work with us on the long run is one of this factor. Second is excellence. We always work for excelling in whatever we do. I know things have evolved over a period of time. There's a lot of things which have changed. Technology has come in, but anything, whatever we do, we always look at that, what is that best we can become, and what we can deliver best for our customers. So the excellence is another point. And third important point, which I talk to my own team members, is consistency. So whatever you do in your life, it's not important that you do excellent job once or excellent job twice. You have to be consistent, and you have to deliver consistently. So the three key factors or the foundation of 4D is integrity, excellence, and consistency.
Great. So let's say you have the right mix, the right mindset in place, and you are growing in industry. While industry is growing, there are lots of moving components. Not that the competition was not there. Competition was there from India, big brands who had the paying capacity. They didn't have a lot of confidence on India market to manufacture components. Right. In that kind of environment, when you are growing your company, what are the initial step upgrades you brought in? Like, was it about setting up a factory? If you did that, how you manage the funds and other, or if there is any other breakthrough that happened to you that allowed you to take a bigger leap? So if you can highlight some of those building blocks of this journey, this will be great for our audience.
Yeah, actually, I would like to just continue a little bit from what I was stating earlier. So when we started 4D, we did this project in Jainagar. And at the day of opening, coincidentally, I met one gentleman called Mr. Roni Palat. I can say he's our godfather and he is our mentor or guide who guided us not just then and also for almost about 8 years ahead after we started our company also. So Roni was actually a retail head for as a consultant, not as an employee, but as an external consultant. He was a retail head. He comes from a background of being the president of Mother Care and many other international brands, even at that point of time. Okay, so
Okay.
very rich retail background, worked abroad for many years, and then came into India, started his own consultancy company, and was
Okay.
consulting with a couple of brands. So coincidentally, he came for the opening, and I knew him from RDM days when I was working with with a company called IndusLeague, which was later taken over by Future Group. So IndusLeague was again a early start company from what you call people who had split from Madura Garments and started on their own and things like that. And Roni was consulting with them. And when we opened the store, he said that, see, I have two clients who is, he knew me to an extent, decent extent when I was working in RD&M. So he said, good, I didn't know that you had left, but I have two clients. So both of them are looking for somebody to design their stores. So what do you think you can take it up? So I was still in a double mind whether I should really continue this or my father had left the choice to me to go abroad. So then I came back home, thought over for some time. I realized that it will put a huge stress on my father. So I said, okay, I've got some opportunity in life. Why can't we continue that? And went and met those two clients. So Oyster
Okay.
Bay was a turning point for me in my career. Oyster Bay, there was a brand called Oyster Bay,
Okay.
which again was very early to its time. Today, what is Bluestone or what is what do you call many other
Yeah.
jewelry?
Carrot Lane. Yeah.
Yeah, all this everyday jewelry brands, right? Carrot Lane and things like that. Everyday jewelry brands. Oyster Bay was that at that point of time. It was very early to its time, and unfortunately, it worked only for a couple of years, and finally it got sold to some other company. But that was a turning point, and we went and met the founders of Oyster Bay. So Oyster Bay told us that one is we need to work with another product designer, who had designed the furniture for their retail store, the look and feel of the furniture, but they were looking at an environmental design team. So they said, see, if there is a furniture designer or a product designer who has designed the furniture. We want you to design the environment. So then finally we marry both of that and create a retail identity. So we had to work
Okay.
with one product designer, and we did the entire environmental design of that store. And that gentleman, Mr. George, designed the furniture, and we took it together and we did. Another condition what Oyster Bay said is because they were also a startup brand, they said that we will not pay you any design fees. We cannot
Okay.
afford to pay you any design fee. We will give you projects on turnkey. So
Okay.
if you want to work with us, you have to work with us as a turnkey project. So 2000 October was when we kind of officially on Vijayadashmi Day, during Dasara Vijayadashmi Day, is when we actually started 4D. And Nagraj joined me after his notice period sometime in January 2001. So I was carrying on the work till then. And we started working with Oyster Bay. And uh, from October to March 31st, we had completed about 5 projects for Oyster Bay,
Okay.
complete design and build. So I had to hire contractors because I had no clue about contracting. So I was talking to a couple of friends and they recommended me one contractor, and he agreed to work with us at a, so because we were not getting fees, I also had to keep a 8% margin as my fee, and the
Right.
remaining was for the contractor. So
Right.
I told the contractor, this is the condition you will work, that I will get the entire fee, I mean money from the client. I will keep 8% of it and repay you remaining.
So
And you will,
that also brings a very important aspect of the personality, because if you are trying to make ends meet for yourself and your co-founding team, and you have got only couple of projects, you most of the times the mindset is to grab as much percentage component you can grab from the initial deals, but that hurts the long-term positioning of your company, your reputation you're trying to build in the market. So being very candid on how much you want to earn, and making keeping satisfaction with that percentage, and making sure the supplier is also getting healthy margins out of it, also a way to build long-term partnership. Yes.
actually, that is, as I told you, no, for us, it was always transparency with anybody working. I mean, with any of my vendors. Even today, the vendors trust us and work with us majorly because of this transparency. See, we want everybody to, it cannot be that one person grows and others don't grow. If it is only a win-win situation, then only you can move ahead in life.
Yes. Yes.
So that's
But
what I believe.
Shamji,
And
you said that in the beginning you were an architect yourself. You started designing. From designing, you went into design and build and become a front end for the customer. But how did things move on to production, and how come you have one of the best production setup in the
I'll tell
country?
you.
Yes.
So we started this execution company. So we didn't want 4D to also be known as an executive. So Nagraj and me, one thing we were very clear from the beginning is we wanted 4D to be only a design company. So that somehow we had a very good clarity from the day one. And we said, okay, we don't want to turnkey project in 4D. Let's start a new company. So we started another company called Instore Design India Private Limited, which was only for handling the execution. And what we
Okay.
used to do is 8% of this margin, whatever was there, 4D used to bill in store and take that money. So that revenue for 4D was always there. So
Okay.
in-store started its operations in 2001, and it was in what you call work in vogue till about 2009, till the recession hit us. So 2001 to 2006, for 5 years, honestly, if I have to tell you, we started in a 10 by 10 room in my house. So Nagraj was staying in a rented place, so obviously he could not have a place. So uh, we were staying in our own family owned house. So in the ground floor of the house, in a 10 by 10 room, which had an external door to the road. So that was a room which we started. My father gave me 60,000 rupees at that point of time as with his blessings to buy the furniture, one computer, one printer, and one table and chair. This is what he said, because that time, except for that 30,000 rupees, what I had from the earlier client, I didn't have
Right.
any other money. So he gave me that. That was like a seed money for me. And we started in the thing. So Nagraj used to come in his notice period after office hours, come to my house. He used to sketch whatever is there. Then I got two what do you call trainee architects, rather trainee architects who were still studying at my college. From my college, I got two of them. I said, why don't you come and work? Our college used to get over at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, by the way. We had to start at 8 o'clock and get over at 2 o'clock. So I told two of my juniors, I said that please come and work for me. I'll pay you 2,000 rupees per month. So for somebody who was studying at that point of time, getting 2,000 rupees per month was a huge amount. So they used to come at 3:30, 4 o'clock to my house, work till night 8:39, then go back home and they used to do their work. So we started like this, 4 people, Nagraj, me, and these 2 people
Two
who used to
interns.
come and do the drawings.
Yes.
And as I told you, it was in the boom stage of retail, and a lot of things were growing. And I mean, I think we were also, God was kind enough to give us good opportunities and we grew. So from 2001 to 2006, we grew in revenue. Okay, the first year, I told you we had worked only for 6 months, right? So our 6 months revenue, because we had done 5 projects of Oyster Bay, our
Right.
turnover was 1.4 crores, which we had
Oh,
never imagined
nice.
in our life that we'll be able to do that kind of turnover. Okay, so from second year onwards, that is 2001 April till 2006, 2007 financial year, we had grown 90 to 100% every year on our turnover as well as number of people. So in 2007, we were a team of about 28 people.
Okay, nice.
So we did a lot of projects like what I told you, Oyster Bay was
But these
expanding.
all these projects were design and or design plus build, right?
All was design and build.
And how were you sourcing your furnitures and fixtures back then?
So that's what I'll come to that. So 2006 is when we realized that we should do something on our own for furniture. So we set up a small workshop. So the carpenter or the contractor who used to work with us, he said, "Sir, you take a place, and this furniture he used to do in his own workshop and give it to us." He said, "If you are able to do your own workshop with your own machinery, I will put labor in your place, and you only pay me the labor cost. So the rental you will pay, material you will buy for me, everything you'll do. So you'll get a little more margin than what you're getting it done from me." So he also supported us. He said, and he gave us a team of about 10 people. And that's how we started the small workshop above about 3,000 square feet. So that was, you can say, indirectly was the origin of our factory. And from 2006 to 2010, we had worked like this in an informal way, in a small workshop like this. 2009 was very disastrous for us because recession hit the entire world, the global recession. A lot of clients who had to pay us didn't pay. And at that point of time, we lost the total money of about 1.8 crores,
Oh,
which
that's a
we were
big money.
supposed to get. Yeah, we were supposed to get from various clients. So whatever money we had earned in these years, we had to put back all the money because we had to pay the vendors. So we requested all the vendors that we'll pay you back, but at least reduce your profit and tell us what is that we should pay. Luckily, I mean, I could say 90% of the vendors supported us and cooperated. They only took the basic fee. They left all their profits because they had trust in us. And so we had to pay an outstanding of about 1.3 crores, which we paid off. We had saved a little money between Nagraj and me. We flowed back that money also. And you can say we were very close to zero when in 2009-10. So what we started with a big growth, again we came down almost crashing. Luckily we didn't touch zero, but we were very close to zero.
Yeah, so
But
it's
still,
almost zero because the way you are describing, it hurts you not just the bank balance, it also hurts you on other levels as well because
yeah.
it's not an easy
So
business, a tiring business to execute.
correct.
So how did you pull yourself
So
back together again from that moment?
we closed that company. Whatever we had to pay, so we had outstanding taxes also at that point of time. So we at no point we were wanting to get into any wrong books of anybody. So we somehow pulled up whatever money we had and we paid up all the taxes and formally closed that company. And that is when I decided that I will never get into turnkey execution ever in my life. So anyway, 4D was there. That was good that we didn't mix 4D and whatever decision we had taken at that point of time was a good decision. So we had only closed the execution company. But
Okay.
still, I had that orientation towards that workshop. That workshop, when we were handing over back to the landlord, he said, "Why don't you continue?" Because he was very happy with us also. So he said, "Why don't you continue?" So then I discussed with Nagraj. I said, "Nagraj, why can't we do something? Let's at least only do furniture. Let's not get into site work. Let's only do furniture." So Nagraj, he's of backend means more into this, more into the managing the studio and things like that.
Okay.
So he always had left it to me to take major decisions. So he said, "Whatever your comment, if you feel that still with all the losses we had, he was still had the confidence on me. He said, "Shyam, if you are confident that we can pull it off, let's go ahead." So that's how
It's
in
amazing to
2000.
have that kind of support amongst co-founders. It goes a long way.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Whatever I have done, that's why I said there's not just my own effort. It's a lot of effort from many people, including my co-founder. So, with all credit to them, whatever I am today is also because of them. So, we started the same workshop. We changed the name of the company. We started a new company, Space Design, and what do you call registered that company, and we just changed the agreement with the landlord. Anyway, that old company had closed, and the new company we just registered that and changed the thing, and that is when we started the factory. So we started taking because we were doing a lot of design projects. Clients were also very comfortable with us. As I told you, they had confidence in us and whatever we do. So they supported us by giving us the orders for furniture fixtures.
But how did you arrange capital to put up the workshop and the machinery together?
No, we didn't have any machinery. Whatever machinery we had when we did a workshop, no, all handheld machinery and things like that. That was the only machinery. We didn't have anything in 2010. So 2010 we started taking orders. I had a vendor called Amjad who used to support us for all the furniture, the metal part of it. So we were only doing the wooden part of it in our workshop. Metal from the beginning, this gentleman called Amjad was supporting us. He was helping us to do all the metal parts of the work. See, in 2000, early in that decade, 2001 to 2010, metal was only about 30% of the overall furniture. Today, it's the other way around. Today, wood is only 30% and metal is more. But that point of time, metal was only about 30%. So, majority was wood and 30% we used to get it outsourced from Amjad. So, we continued the same way. And in 2012 or 13, when we had earned some more money from whatever work we had done for 2 years or 3 years, that is when we started investing money into machinery.
What's the first machine you bought?
We had bought this Altenhoff cutting machine, which is a panel saw.
And how did you build it up from there? Can you share the sequence of production capabilities?
We had invested at that point of time about 36 lakh rupees between me and Nagraj. So whatever, from our share of what we had taken for last 2 years, we invested 36 lakhs. We bought one Altenhoff cutting machine. Then we bought one very small edge binding machine. And we had bought, what was else? Routing machine. These 3 machines were what we bought. And whatever money we used to earn, we got good orders from our clients. So whatever money we used to earn, we used to flow back into the company at the end of the year and invest more on machines. So honestly, whatever money I've invested, about 36 lakhs way back then, till date in 2024, I have not invested a single rupee back from my own kitty. It is only the money which we have earned, we are flowing back into the company. But I have not put personally any more money into the company. So we have ensured that whatever money we earn, and we stay profitable also.
At any point in time, have you explored the debt route to build capex or
we have taken, obviously, we have taken loans. Yeah, we have taken bank loans from obviously working bank loans we have taken, but we paid that back. But we have not taken any external debt. No third-party debt or no what do you call it?
No big swings. The business is built on hard, solid foundations.
Yeah. So that's how we started investing back and grew the company. And 2016-17 again we had a little bit of issue in the company. One of our employee whom we had trusted a lot and left the factory to manage, because I used to run around getting orders. Nagraj used to handle the studio, and I used to go and manage the client interaction and deliveries and things like that. So this one of my employee who was been with us for 8 years, he did a big misappropriation in the company, and we lost again some money at that point of time. Not some money, quite a bit of money. So that is when I decided that either this is not going to work like this. Either I need to sell off this company or just focus on design, or I need to get a partner. So even Nagraj, my co-founder, he was also very stressed with whatever happened within the company at that point of time. It was a bad time again. And he said, Sam, I don't have the bandwidth and patience to handle this. So he said, I will want to exit this company. You continue if you want, or if you're selling the company, we'll both sell and then exit. But still,
Okay.
my mind was not for full selling. I was always exploring, can we look at somebody who can come in as a working partner and manage somebody honest, somebody with good integrity, like how we both were. So luckily, we had a vendor who was just opposite to us, my current partner, Anant Narayan. And
Okay.
this whatever misappropriation was also exposed by one of my then employees, who's currently also my partner in my company. He only exposed and informed me that a kind of misappropriation which was going on. So we had to take whatever action at that point of time. And so this my employee, he after 1 year after all these issues, he wanted to quit. And he was honest to tell me that I want to go and start my own company. So I told him, why don't you join my company? You were the one who helped me to weed out the problems. So why don't you join me as a partner and take care of the back end? And the new partner also was extremely experienced. He had almost about 25 years of experience in production and handling labor and handling things in the factory. So I also spoke to him. So simultaneously, these two things happened. So Anant Narayan and Manjunath were my current partners in the factory. Manjunath was my employee and today is my partner. And Anant Narayan was my vendor who became my partner again. So both of them invested. We had to sort out again the problems at that point of time because of the misappropriation. So we sorted out all that. And the actual growth story starts from 2017. Till 2017, my 2017, my turnover in the factory was about 9 crores or 10 crores. And 4D was about 4 5 crores. So we were still in the
Okay.
overall very small growth phase only. Though we had
Okay.
very good traction from the clients, but we were not able to grow because I was not able to manage single-handedly all these
Both
things.
backend and the customers, yes. So after you
Yes. So,
brought in, so that's also a very good point, because this is a complex business with lots of moving parts to it. So having the right kind of structure in the organization, and the right people having with the right ownership at the right places makes a lot of difference, as you have also experienced. So why not, let's cover from 2017 to 2024. It's almost like a 10 to 15x jump, right? So how did
yes.
that came about? What have been some of the key aspects of that journey?
See, my partner Anant Narayan was a very contented person. He was not somebody who wanted to make things big. And I always in life had the idea of doing something very big. So that was the difference between both of us. So I had to do a lot of convincing to him. And luckily, he had a son who was in third year of engineering at that point of
Mhm.
time. And I told him, see, Anand Narayan, if you're not doing for yourself, don't do for yourself, do for your son. Your son is going to pass out engineering next year. And after that, he is going to work somewhere. Let him take 1 or 2 years of experience somewhere outside. And after that, let him come and join, because you are not very wanting to do something big. Very simple person he is. Very less complicated, very simple in his outreach everywhere. So he said, I mean, he calls me sir because he was my vendor. Even today, even though he's much elder to me in age, he calls me sir even today. So sir, he said, sir, actually I'm not very keen, but since you're now telling me about my son's future, let me think and come back to you. And
Okay.
I think we had a conversation at his house along with his son and all that. That particular suggestion, what I gave to him, actually worked. So he agreed, and that is when we decided that let's make this company very big. So we
Okay.
started again back investing back all the money, whatever we used to earn, and multiplied. And he had a wonderful experience in handling the back end, that is the labor at the factory, managing things, etc. And Manjunath was handling the technical aspects and project parts. I used to continue to handle the customer side of it. So I think this combination made it very good, and we started expanding in a big way. And another turning point was COVID for us. Though COVID, it was a problem for everybody. Even we went through that issue. In 2017, one more thing happened with 4D. This was all what I'm talking about factory. But in 4D, what happened was that the growth from the brands, we used to work, even today, currently, we work with about 47 brands pan India. Okay. And at that point of time, also, we were working with considerable amount of brands. But one challenge with brands is after their expansion plan of say 100, 150 or 200 stores, normally there is a dip in their expansion. So it is very important that once, and that client will not expand further for another 1 year
Right.
or 2 years. So again, you need to look at somebody else. You need to get a new client to refill that. So for us,
Right.
growth in 4D was a challenge. You By the time you kind of grow, you lose one or two clients who are not expanding. They will stop their expansion program, or they will look at somebody else or whatever it is. Finally, you will not have that client with you, and you will have to look at somebody to compensate even the loss what has been, the void what has been created by them. So this was a continuous thing which was happening, and we were always thinking that, and we were growing in about 6%, 8% kind of scenario in 4D. So I said this won't work for a long time, and then we started looking at avenues what could work for 4D also. And one of the things which I feel we did the right thing at that point of time was focusing on regional retailers. So we had done one regional retailer project which came through a reference, and that project turned out to be very good. And from him, we got one more project. So when I started understanding this, I realized that this is a vertical segment which we could focus. So I created a separate vertical at that point of time. Created a separate team, because when you work for brands, the design process is very elaborate and very deep. Whereas when you work for individual retailers, the process is same, but it does not necessarily have to be so elaborate and deep, because individual retailers will not give you that kind of time. For example,
Right.
if you're designing a retail store for a brand, the client will give you anywhere between 60 days to 90 days for closing of the design. I mean,
Right.
depending upon the brand, obviously. But no individual retailer will give you ever 60 to 90 days for design. He will say, boss, this is my store. I want the entire design to delivery completed in, say, 90 days or 120 days. 4 months, I want the store to be done. So we had to rework on our processes, make it only apt for what is required to them. And we created a separate vertical. And I think that is a very good decision which we took. It not only helped 4D for growing its business and getting a new vertical in place, but it also added a new vertical to factory also. So the manufacturing, what we used to do only for corporate brands, national chain of brands, now we started working in a very big way with regional retailers. And most of the regional retailers in South India, many of you know, being in South India, and for who don't know South India much, just to give you a background, here most of the regional retailers, their stores start anything with about 25 to 30,000, goes all the way up to 2 lakh square feet. Or if you're talking
Yes.
about somebody like Pothys, example Pothys, they also have stores of 3 to 4 lakh square feet also. So rather than doing, say, 1500, 2000 square feet store for 100 stores of that size, it is
Right.
good to get one store of this size and deliver a fixture to that. Because
Right.
you don't have to have so much of complication, what complication you have to deliver 100 stores. So we realized that that's a very good vertical, and started working on that. And COVID came in, and again we had a slump. So one is I had to also ensure that pay our team without ensuring that without having any issue. So luckily we were able to manage. We reduced overall salaries by about 30% for anybody who had 50,000 and above salary. So anybody who had 50,000 rupees and less salary, we told them that your salary will not be cut, because what can you cut for somebody earning, say, 30, 40,000 rupees?
So
Doesn't
that
work right for them. So we said
so
we
that
made
goes a
that,
long
and
way in maintaining loyalty and camaraderie in the
yeah,
team.
yeah,
That's a really good
correct.
decision.
So,
Yes.
and we had a team meeting on obviously video call at that point of time, and we told that anybody getting 50,000 will, again, in slabs, like how income tax slabs were. This idea was given to me by one of my clients, that you start cutting the salary based on how tax slab works. The same way, people who earn less salary don't cut anything. People who get mid-level salary cut very little amount. and people who are at high salaries cut more. So the maximum we cut was 30%. And again, we got the cooperation from most of the team members. Same thing we did in factory. We didn't cut salaries for any of the labor. Again, we did follow the same principle and managed. So again, God was kind enough. And though the business from the brands reduced to almost 10% from what we were working, the big thing was that regional retailers supported us in a very big way. None of the regional retailers in the southern part of India ever stopped expansion. Maybe they paused it for a month or two, but they never stopped. So by that time, we had developed enough traction between 2017 to 2020, 21, developed enough traction, and that helped us and to manage our business and at least not go negative in our business. So though our profits were like 1% or 2%, but luckily we were never gone negative in this 24 years of our business. We continued
Shyamji,
and
yes. So please, you please continue. Sorry.
no. So
Yeah.
that story continues, and 2020-21, another thing we did was we wanted to invest. So at that point of time, we were thinking of buying laser cutting machines, two machines from Germany and Italy. We had taken quotes from them and negotiated, closed the prices, and by the end of it, to COVID struck, and we didn't place the order. So everything, Italy was the first country, as you know, to suffer a major setback,
Right.
and they closed first. So for 6 months, nothing happened, and after 6 months, we got mails from these companies saying that you have taken quote from us 6-7 months back. Are you still keen to buy from us? So we had a discussion internally. We said, yeah, we want to buy, but let's see whether they'll be able to give us more discount on what they have given the quote. So we just sent a mail saying that on the finalized prices at that point of time, if you're ready to give us like 30% discount, we are ready to buy. We knew that they may not agree. We just took a chance. And
Okay.
actually that worked.
Oh,
And they
you turned the entire situation around to your advantage.
so the total investment at that point of time we had taken quotes was about 6.3 crores. The final quote negotiated amount was 6.3 crores. We got a 30% discount on that again. So which
That's
was
great.
huge, which was almost about 2 crores.
So
So that
now
was a
we are
big,
at a yes. So now we are at a stage. We understood the journey, highs and lows, building blocks, ethos, couple of setbacks, and an ever resilient spirit. And now you are at a stage delivering close to 1,000 stores a month. Has I've seen the setup. This is the best setup I have seen so far, in terms of the kind of machinery, the way the departments are organized, the way the hygiene and the discipline I noticed at the factory floor. It was top notch and very very impressive. But from here, where are we heading to? Where are you heading to? How does 4D look like 10 years down the line, and what role technology is going to play in that journey? We are very proud to have you as a customer of RDash. So it's a would love to hear your view on how technology will help, in your lens, will help your business scale from this point on.
sure. See, I think I think COVID was a turning point to even understand that investing in technology is something which is inevitable, because the perspective of technology got completely changed. Though we knew that technology is imperative for anybody in future, but we didn't realize that it's going to become so much more imperative in a very short span of time. So we realized and we started discussing that one is obviously we continue to do good work and with commitment and all that, but how are we going to make things easier and also kind of showcase the client that we are also cohesive with technology and we will work with technology. That kind of push came from Apple. We are the national architects for Apple from the last 9 years. We do all the Apple stores what you see across the country, even from the small one to the large one, except the two big Apple flagship stores, which is in Mumbai and Delhi. That is done directly by Apple. We are not involved in that. Except those two, everything else is what we do as a team. So Apple told us that since you're doing with us work with us for so many years, I think you should develop an app and start managing things, because Apple didn't have any app for managing projects. So then we hired external consultant and started working on that app. It took about 6-7 months for development, with Apple's team also involved and giving the feedback and things like that. Finally, it became live, and yes, with there were minor hitches, but down the line we started working on it, and today is full-fledged app what we are using for Apple. So that is when we understood the ease of working on projects, getting data on hand, getting a dashboard, what is required. Because with so many projects being handled, honestly, even I cannot know what project is happening in which corner of India, because there are
Right.
multiple teams. So we said that this is the way forward. I mean, we need to invest. That is when we started talking to you for RDash. We got to know about RDash from one more consultant, and that is when we said, okay, let's get in touch with RDash and start talking to you. And we are already working with you now. So I think that's a significant. I mean, I would say technology is something which you can't even think of not having it. If you're not going to invest in technology, whether it is in factory or whether it is in what do you call in your service industry, I don't think it's going to work. You need to upgrade yourself, ensure that you're working with technology to make your life easier, and also ensure the client gets proper feedback at every point of time. So I would say the future for 4D would be, one is we want to roll out RDash to its fullest extent in the next 2-3 months by the end of this year. Right now we are in still in the final stages, but say it will take another 2 months to close, where we have this entire what do you call, to an extent customized service what you are providing to us for ensuring that the elements of RDash are customized for us. So I think from January we will be full-fledged on RDash to manage all our projects, expansion plans across the country. That is one part. Two is we are also investing. I'm also in the governing council of the Indian Institute of Architects. So I'm the treasurer for Karnataka chapter, and that also helped me in a long way. I mean, I've been in the part of the governing council for the last 2 terms, and I have met a what do you call AI practitioner, an architect who's become an AI practitioner, and today is also conducting a lot of workshops of AI, how architects can use AI in their design service business. So we are having the, I mean, we have just signed up with him in the last 1 month, and the first workshop is, for our team, is going to start immediately post Diwali, because currently our entire team is extremely busy with Dasara and Diwali deliveries. We didn't want to have any kind of training program at this point of time. So we have scheduled it immediately after Diwali. So in the first week of November, after Diwali, we will start this training program for all the team heads. So we are starting level wise, like the team heads. Just to tell you, today 4D is a team of in the design and design technical aspects and design management. We are a team of about 67 currently. Okay. So, and we have almost about 27 people who have completed 8 years and above in 4D. So the longest term
That's
we
huge.
can have in 4D, yeah, like you have met Hari and Madhu, both
Yes.
of them have completed 19 and 20 years respectively. So,
Yes.
and they are
Nice.
also not only vertical heads, they also have are sweat equity holders in our company. So we have also a system in the company that if somebody works with us for more than 10 years, and we know that this is a trustable and a loyal person, we give out sweat equity to that person in the company, and he will handle a vertical. So that's also another mantra where, see, you can't grow everything on your own. Today, if you have to grow, you have to share. Without sharing, you
Right.
cannot grow. So
Right.
this idea was, I kind of emulated what Narayan Murthy did when he expanded Infosys, how we gave sweat equity to his key core team members. So that kind of influenced me, and Hari was the first person who came on board as a sweat equity holder way back in 2011.
Okay.
And after that, now we have 4 people who are sweat equity holders currently in the company, and they are all vertical heads handling it. So that's how we have grown also, because each of them can handle multiple things.
So that's a great
So yeah,
mantra for, yeah, that's a great mantra for all the listeners. Share to grow. Uh, I think, and Shamji, I think we are near time. So
Yeah,
let me open the discussion to some of the attendees. If they want to ask you any question, I would encourage them to unmute themselves and have a
yeah,
direct
sure.
chat with you. A lot of people that we have spoken with have put you on a very, very high regard. So people will
I only
people
convey
shall.
my humble acknowledgement of it and thanks to them. What can be ways to do marketing in this field business? What are the two challenges that you face in terms of marketing? Okay, so that was asked by one
Urvashi.
second. Urvashi. Yeah, Urvashi, a very important and a pertinent question. See, I think there's nothing better than developing your own, what do you call, connect with the customer. I think, to be very honest, and till date, from the day 4D started in 2000, till date, whether it is for 4D or for my manufacturing company, Space Design, we do not have a marketing team at all. We have never gone for marketing. It's only the good word. When you deliver good work, start getting good connect. And obviously, we have used it. Now we are using social media. That is whether it's Instagram or in LinkedIn or Facebook. We have our own official pages of all this, and also we have a YouTube channel for 4D. So whatever projects we complete, we ensure that, especially design projects, first-time design projects, once the concept is done and the project is completed, we do the complete shoot of this project, take some bites of testimonials from the client as well, put these videos into our YouTube channel and also Instagram and also Facebook and LinkedIn, obviously LinkedIn. So these are the only things which we have worked. Even today, honestly, we don't spend more than 40,000-50,000 rupees per month on our marketing just to have a person dedicatedly to start posting things on the thing. So it's only in the last 1 year we have hired a person to handle this, all the social media channels and post thing. And also this person not only does this posting, they also start, they also kind of evolve the presentations what we have. Like we have, for example, we are having a fashion apparel presentation. We have done new projects. Then there is somebody needs to update that once we have new projects there, right? So this person also does the updation of those portfolios and also updates the social media. That's it. Nothing else. Their own content within the office. Being a design company, we do the entire content within the company and we put everything. Until date, we don't have anybody except this employee we have from the last 1 year for you handling the social media. So I think the most important is how you can develop that, what do you call, your connect with the customer. Trust and integrity is what I said, I believe, and I would suggest as the key element to ensure that the customer will suggest you to many others. The other marketing, what we are currently doing, in fact, I was traveling and I'm there for that only. And again, this is again from the last 1.5 year, is Retailers Association of India. We participate in their events and start connecting with customers there. So I personally participate and I connect with the customers there. So this is another channel which you could use to connect with all the retailers in the country. They have events happening in different parts of India. You could actually become a member of RAI and connect with them. And they will keep posting you what all events are happening. And you can participate in that and start connecting with prospective customers. So I think that's another thing
So
what we are doing.
personal connects and personal connect and network with the potential customers. Events
Correct.
are some of the main things, but the business is largely built on effective deliveries. So that's
Yes,
basically an area to
correct.
grow.
That's
There's
correct.
a
Yeah,
couple
that's
of
correct.
more questions here,
Yeah,
Shamji.
what
So
5 points we should take care, create, make a wow factor client? See, when I say wow factor is nothing but when somebody is completely delighted and happy, right? So that's when the question of wow comes in. So most important is you take care of the functional. I'm not trying to teach anybody, but I'm just trying to reiterate what we are doing. Is that most important is solve the problem of the customer. when a proper customer comes with a problem, either it can be an operational issue, it can be a functional issue, it can be a design issue. When you divide the problem into any of these categories and look at it from that lens and see what is the effective thing you can solve the problem. So when you solve the problem, the whether it is 4 or 5 elements, I don't know, but I'm telling you, half of your problem is solved. The second thing is, how are you making the design stand out with respect to what is visible? Because we are living in a cluttered market today. I mean, there are so many brands, so many of the brands trying to take Y or the eyeballs of the customers. So it's very important to create what you call an element or a part of the design that catches your eyeball. So, and also registers in your subconscious. I think that's very important in retail. So that is one of the other elements. The third element is keep your whatever design you do, keep it as clean and less confusing as possible. Keep it. The more you keep it having too many multiple elements and more confusing, it will not register to the customer. You have to keep it as clean and less confusing as possible. I think that those are the key factors what you can use for creating wow environments in design.
There's one more question from Mr. Raghunandan. So he has asked, what is the process for you to convert an inquiry into a sale?
Again, I would say the inquiries come. I think it's the personal convincing ability, I could say. I mean, again, I'm not trying to boast or anything. Don't take it in that way. But I think most important is the customer has to see through that he is talking to somebody who is not only honest in what he is talking, and but also can deliver. So I think to a large extent, because we don't have marketing team who still goes and talks to clients, it's either me. Earlier, Nagaraj used to go, but post-COVID, he is also not going and meeting clients. So it is mostly me who goes and meets the client today. I mean, earlier till 2020-21, both of us used to go. So I think it's very important that the customer sees through that you are able to give the right solution for his problem, whether it's a design problem or functional or operational. And two is that he sees you as the right, as whatever you commit and talk is quite honest. Yes, obviously there will be few misses in this. It's not that everything what we have done in life is met us target 100%. But one thing I can tell you is that even though we have missed few of them, but we ensure that we are at least 90% there, and we share. Most important, another aspect in my entire journey, what I can tell is that you have to be very open in communication with your clients. If your the client gets the trust that whatever you're telling, you keep him updated at every period, at every point of time, that what is happening, and update what is going on. And when you go back to him, say something has happened and you're not able to complete something, when you tell him, he will still listen to you because he knows the entire process or the entire update of what is happening throughout the project. But if you don't keep him updated and you don't keep him in loop and suddenly go one day and talk to him, obviously he will not take it. So I feel that the most important aspect in this relationship, trust between the client and the service provider or the manufacturer is communication. I think we should have transparency in communicating with the customer.
Great. There's one last question from Mr. Mehta. He's asking, what difference is RDash making in your company over traditional ways working? Has it replaced 100% traditional working, or in what aspects or what processes you are trying to replace or you are trying to get done through RDash?
Yeah, I think today most important, Mr. Mehta, what RDash is helping us, or why we were convinced of RDash in the first go itself, was that how we can systemize everything and get all the data at one particular point. Just to tell you, we have totally about 14 teams in our company now, and 14 teams are working on multiple projects. So except for the fortnightly review or the monthly review, what we sit together with all the team heads and review, till then I will not know what is happening in many of the brands, because it is physically impossible to get a update of, say, we deliver almost about 50 to 70 stores, anywhere between 50 to 70 stores every month, like what Amit ji was talking about. So anywhere between 700 to 950 stores is what we will deliver. So when you deliver those kind of numbers, it's physically impossible to keep an update of everything. So what RDash is helping us is that we get a dashboard of what is happening at any point of time. So even I have some time before my sleep, I can go to the RDash dashboard, look at it, and see what projects are happening, what stage it is there any red alarms in any of the project? If there are red alarms, should we get involved, or should will they themselves handle it? So many insights we are getting from RDash currently. Right now, we are not in the full, what do you call, stage of RDash fully implemented. We have started with, you can say, about 30-40% of our projects on RDash currently, and slowly adding on more and more, because even our team has to get used to it. It's not very simple to move away from the Excel sheet and what do you call MS Office kind of work to something which is where you have to update in the system. I mean, update in the app or update on the RDash platform. So it is taking time for us. We have good support from Amit ji and his team. They are helping us in a big way to customize a lot of our problems and ensure that it is solved. And I think that's what I told. I think it's going to take another 2-3 months. I think by end of this year, calendar year, we should be at least, if not 100%, at least 70-80% on RDash. And in the next year, we will be 100% on RDash.
There's someone, Mr. Rakesh, he wants to speak with you directly. Mr. Rakesh, you can unmute yourself and speak now.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Rakesh.
Yeah, I'm Rakesh Chwaldar. If you remember, I worked with 4D for around 2.5 years. I was working on a Vodafone project from Mumbai.
Yeah, Rakesh. Yeah. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Okay. So I would like to tell you that currently I'm working with 91 square feet. But I still wanted to ask you that I've always seen that 4D always have been one step ahead with the other companies who are in the market. And in terms of technology and in terms of everything, in terms of design, signature and everything. Just wanted to ask you that, are you guys planning to do something with AI? And you actually answered that question. So,
Yeah. As I told you, see, I think it's very important that you evolve with the times. If you don't evolve with times and keep up with times, you will be redundant in very quickly. I mean, yes, there are a lot of companies who are also evolving and keeping pace with time, but yes, unfortunately, there are few companies who could not evolve and have lost relevance. So, currently the head of strategy in my company, Surinder, was my client till 2016. So he used to tell always one thing to me or generally, that you are as good as how relevant you are to that particular time. So if you want to be good in what you do, you have to be relevant to that particular time. So which means that you'll have to keep updating yourself. So I think, like I told you, it's not about one person who has contributed to us in our growth. There are multiple people in different points of time who have contributed to our growth. And the most important, what earning I could say, we are today, Amit ji told about the turnover and what we have earned and etc. All that is fine. But I think the most important aspect, Amit ji, is what I have earned, I can tell you, is the trust of many people.
Yes.
I can tell you there are a lot of vendors who have started working with us way back in 2000 and today have become very big vendors today and even continue to work with us even till date. So I think that kind of trust and support what we get from vendors or from the industry for a period, long period, is something which also is a big earning, what I can say. So what we have earned really in life.
That's very great to hear, Shyamji. We work with lots of companies, lots of upcoming or settled entrepreneurs in the fit-out industry. And majority of times, people know you not just as a businessman who is in competition to that. Most of the time, people look you up as a role model. A lot of people have told me that you have been the maker of this industry. That's why I have used those words. And in all this conversation, I have found you to be very humble, down to earth, genuine and kind-hearted person. And I think that's a very key advantage that you and the companies you will run will always have. So wish you great luck and lots of success for future.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words and thank you for your wishes also.
Yes, there are a couple of more unanswered questions. but I think it's good to close on a high, uh, wherein and it has been a great learning experience. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. I definitely am taking
Same
away
here, and
lots of learning.
thank you and RDash for this opportunity to connect with many people. And I really don't know whether I had to do this, but I can only say thanks to you.
No, Shyamji, I think good people gravitate goodness. So these things will keep coming your way. It's not we doing, it's you doing, and your karmas bringing things your way. Best of luck.
Thank you so much, and wish you all the best, Amitji, for your
Yes.
endeavors in RDash and also for other things.